am finally sitting down to review the November Beauty Heroes box, which features a brand called AYUNA. This was like something I really had to obviously zip the lips about during the month of October. I was trying it for about half the month of October, these products in the box. And all I wanted to do was do Instagram posts about them and talk about how, revelatory I felt that they were. Now the time is finally here for me to sit and review these products. I'm sorry that it's a little bit late. My life has been bananas. I've had no time, but here I am before work, baby hairs and all, to review the November Beauty Heroes box. I have all the products here. They're already like in my heavy rotation, so they're gonna look like kind of well loved, especially the soap. But let me tell you what's actually in the box. The official name of the hero product is the Essence Cream in Oil Peel. And then there are two very generous and amazing sidekicks. This sort of deluxe sample size of their Cream 2, this artisan soap. Now this is a baby size of this soap. The full size bar is quite a bit bigger than this and retails for $38. So they had this little one made specifically for the Beauty Heroes box. I didn't say the prices on the other things. Sorry, the value of this box is really incredible. I don't like to always highlight the cost component so much, but I think for a lot of people it will be quite noteworthy. The Essence Cream and Oil Peel retails for $145. A full size of the Cream 2 is like $198, but I think this size they're retailing at $55. And the little baby soap they're saying is $5. Which actually seems really good because the full-size bar is $38. Oh my gosh, I'm like so overwhelmed I don't even like fully know where to begin. I thought I had saved other packaging. Hang on. I think it got lost in the shuffle that is my life. The packaging looks like this. There's these, I would imagine it's like recyclable material boxes. Oh, I did. I put the little label in here, which I saved because I think that the branding is so pretty, and I know a lot of people are very attracted to the branding, but I thought that that was really worth showing you. I'm just gonna lead this video out with saying I really don't know the last time I felt so strongly about a new beauty discovery. The last time I really kind of like fell in love with a brand at this caliber, ingredient formulation and experience and effect, is probably In Fiore. I might be missing something, but In Fiore jumps out just because of like the really luxe feel and experience of the products and everything like that. These products have blown me away, and I really do not like to create hype, but I just think it's so incredible that Beauty Heroes members are getting to try these extremely high-end products, luxe products, high-performing products as part of the subscription. I have to be honest, when I saw that Beauty Heroes was carrying this brand, I was quite turned off by the price. And now, after trying these products, I'm like, Mama's got to save up when it's time to restock because they're truly mind-blowing. So let me tell you a little bit about the brand, and then I'll tell you about my experience using them. And I have a lot of good points about how to use the essence because it is a relatively unique product. There are not a lot of gommages on the market in general, and definitely not in the eco beauty space. So I have some good trial and error points that I think will be helpful for you. I had really wanted to do a demo. I might still, but I just don't think I'm gonna have time to demo and include in this video. So right away, I love that AYUNA is based in Spain, a Spanish company run by two women whose names are Isabel and Begonia. Now, Isabel is sort of I think she's a biochemist, cosmetics formulator with, I think, over 20 years of experience in the beauty industry in that regard. And then Begonia is a veteran esthetician with over 25 years, I believe, of experience on that side of the beauty industry. And together they bring this 45 plus years of experience to creating AYUNA. So there's just a lot of expertise from these different slices of the beauty industry going into this formulation. The tagline of AYUNA is "Less is Beauty." It's a 5-product range. The underlying philosophy is one of skin fasting. So similar to how I'm sure many of you who are, into healthy living and all of that, I'm sure have come across the benefits of something like intermittent fasting as far as what it can do for your metabolism and things like that. So the principles of skin fasting are sort of similar. And it's also in line with just the whole less is more approach to your skin, which I feel like brands I love, like Jordan Samuel and Stark Skincare, others that I'm blanking on, Moon, I think, for example, they have like very simple routines with a minimal amount of steps, but the products at each step of the routine are just like truly superb. When you have really high performing products, you don't need to do like a 12-step routine. And so I've been moving in a much more skin minimalist skin direction for probably the last 6 to 8 months, which I think has probably been evident on sort of my channel and Instagram posting. Also, what I appreciate about AYUNA is they're really part of this conversation about well aging. That's what they call it, and it's sort of an alternative to the anti-aging rhetoric that we're also bombarded with. But I do think that actually the beauty industry is starting to make strides towards reconfiguring that whole conversation, because we all age. It's obviously inevitable. No one can escape it. And there are different trajectories for how one can age in a way that aligns with them. AYUNA is just really focused on less, but really, really highly effective, very scientifically developed formulations with extremely clean ingredients. There's an interview that Jeannie did with Begonia when they were at IBE in New York over the summer, I think. And I saw a preview of it, but I think it's going to be available on the Beauty Heroes blog. So for the essence in particular, I think, is what they were talking about when Begonia said this, but it took them over 90 prototypes and 2 years to get this right. I'm not sure if it was just this product or the whole range, but that's a lot of prototypes and a lot of iterating and a lot of trial and error. So there are 5 products in AYUNA'S range right now. I'm not sure if they're planning to expand, but there is a cleanser, which is this little artisan bar soap. It's a mix of saponified borage, olive, and coconut oils with activated charcoal to sort of detoxify the skin, get it very clean. Then, in my mind, what comes next is their mask. Now they label this as a balm. This is not part of the box, but I have also been sent it to try. And it's sort of like a pre-mixed charcoal volcanic ash type of mask. Comparators would be Mahalo's The Bean, maybe Josh Rosebrook Antioxidant Cacao, kind of blanking on others, maybe Precious Skin Elixirs Sterling Honey Polish, like that type of product. So to me, this is the second step. Then to me, the third step is the essence, which is an exfoliant, but also a serum. So to me, I would use this after the mask, even though in principle you would want to exfoliate before a mask, but I'll get into that in a minute. This is such a unique product. And then they have 2 creams. I think it's just called like the original cream. I don't think they call it cream 1, and cream 2, which is in the box. Cream 2 is a little bit of a richer version, or it is the richer version. But Jeannie decided to include this one. I asked her why she opted for this one, and she said that she didn't feel that it was overly heavy, which I agree, and that the original cream is really quite light, a bit more runny, and she just thought that especially going into winter, this would be a little bit more aligned with everybody's skin types, and I think it's amazing. So the only product I haven't tried personally is the original cream. Okay, let me tell you a bit about the ingredients in the essence, and then I think we'll be ready for me to just gush about how much I love them and how I've been using them. So this is called a gommage, as I said, which I learned is a French word for like rolling, or to sort of simulate it would go along with the idea of like sloughing off skin. It made me remember the only other gommage I think I've ever used is the Laura Mercier facial gommage. It was one of the first like expensive skincare products I ever tried in the mid 2000s, and I really liked that product. It definitely was more abrasive than something like this. This is sort of a 3-step product. So the first step in here are when you put it on the skin, are the alpha amino acids that are in it. Now they used glutamic, and aspartic acids, which apparently have a similar effect to AHAs, but they're even more gentle than that. And what they do is, as soon as you put it on the skin, it sort of triggers your skin's regenerative capacity or capability on contact. So it's similar to like any skin acid that you don't really have to do anything for the exfoliation to start happening. The second step is the grainless gommage that gently polishes the skin, and as you roll it off is going to really like buff off the sort of dead, dry skin that you might be having. Then the third step is the formula, after you've sort of have rolled it off, will transform into an oleo essence finish and leave a kind of like a silky serum on the skin, which you could leave as is, or you could top with a little bit of the cream. I do not find that you need to use a facial oil after you have rolled this off the skin. The oil is in the formulation. The first ingredient in this is the citrus lemon fruit water. I had watched another interview, or no, it was on the Beauty Heroes brand ambassador called Begonia and Isabel were on, and they were talking about how water is a very common first ingredient in skincare formulations, but that a lot of times the water is not pH balanced or coming from like a very sort of skin resonant perspective. And they were talking about how the lemon fruit water is just that, basically. So it's not just like water is the first ingredient sort of deal. I want to talk about the scent of the products for a minute, because the scent is consistent across every product in the range. I will be honest, the very first time I smelled it, I was not in love. It's very, very mild actually, but it's quite interesting. I have never smelled anything quite like this. It's not overpowering, but I remember when I first used it, I was like, I'm not entirely sure about this. Now I quite enjoy it. I will say, like, I might be alone on this. The scent is not like the biggest selling point for me. I could kind of go either way with it, but I think that's just going to be really personal preference. It certainly does not bother me at all in the products, and it's almost like the more that I use them, the more I kind of like entrain with the scent. It's very weird. I like enter into relationships with products. Can you tell? I'm such a weirdo. The essential oil-based fragrance is Gurjum Balsam, Hollywood, Myrrh, Chamomile, Rosemary, and Buchu. Several of those I have never heard of. Okay, now we're just gonna talk about how I've used these products and how I have been totally in love. Let me start with the soap, as it's the first step. Really beautiful and easy to use. Obviously, it's a bar of soap. I use this as a second step in the shower. I will always remove my makeup with a balm or oil cleanser removed with a warm cloth. That's just my personal preference to break down my makeup in SPF. Once in the shower, I've been interchanging with this or the Osmia Black Clay Facial Soap. This is ever so slightly more moisturizing than the Osmia soap. Not by much, but it is slightly more moisturizing. So I'll reach for the Osmia Black Clay Facial Soap, which is a favorite of mine if my skin feels like it needs a little bit more balancing, and this if my skin is feeling normal or even a little bit dehydrated. Now we will talk about the hero product, the Essence. Now, I think a lot of people have been having some user experience issues with this. Gommages are notoriously messy and sort of difficult to use. Case in point, the first time I used this, I was like, this is not going well. Not going well at all. So what I did the first time I used it is I just took my fingers and did sort of a medium layer everywhere that I mask. And the only place I don't mask on my face as a rule is like the very kind of like apples or center of my cheeks. That's just personal preference. My skin is very thin there, and I don't like to really do much to that area at all except cleanse, and it seems to stay balanced and fine. AYUNA says to only leave it on for 5 or 10 minutes, but I think in the Beauty Heroes insert they say let it set on your skin for about 20 minutes, which I did. It doesn't really dry down or anything. It's going to stay pretty, I guess it dries down a little bit, but it's going to stay relatively moist. So your skin needs to be clean and dry when you put this on. Leave it on for however long you want, anywhere from 5 to 20 or 25 minutes. Then this is where things get complicated. I have found the easiest thing to do is to stand over a sink. You do not want to remove this in the shower because adding water to it is a no-no. And I did that the first time, and that's where I was like, abort mission, this is no bueno. What you're gonna wanna do is stand over a sink. I think even in here they say prepare your sink and floor with towels. Like I don't have an issue with the floor, but just sort of standing over a sink. You're just gonna kind of start rolling the product off the skin. Now, it doesn't come off very easily and it takes a little bit of effort. And that's why I think the tendency was there when it wasn't sort of coming off super easily. I was like getting confused, and so I moistened my fingers with water, and all that's gonna do is basically create like a frosting on your face, and you're not gonna be able to get the exfoliation and get it off. So don't add any water, but you're just gonna roll the product and it'll start sort of like shedding off a lot of it, but you're gonna have a lot of like remaining particles on the skin, which is okay. You just kind of really need to keep at it. Your skin might get a little bit pink, which mine does. Oh, I forgot to say too, they had talked about the actual, in the interview that Jeannie did with Begonia, they had talked about the actual gommage agent, and it's just like an extremely like gentle and soft, I can't remember what she said that it was, but just really, really gentle and soft particle that's in here for that. Juxtapose that with something like this trend of including walnut shells, unpolished walnut shells in products. Walnut shells in general, I'm just like, let's not. I'm always hyper vigilant about micro tearing my skin, and I don't think that there's like any risk of that with this. That said, if you are sensitive and prone to getting a little flushed, your skin might get pink from the rolling action. Yeah, best advice I can do is just keep rolling, and the product will kind of roll off into the sink. At least that's what I find. Now, I get like as much off as I can, just kind of rolling and sort of wiping off my hands like this. And then I personally find that it is helpful to take a clean face cloth, muslin cloth, whatever you use, get it relatively warm, and do a light steam and sort of brush off the remaining gommage particles. It doesn't seem to take away that essence that gets left behind, and I feel that it just gets all the remaining gommage off. So don't add water, but I do think a steam towel at the end is quite nice. After that process, your skin is going to feel pretty amazing. And I will say, the first time I used this and took it off, I didn't immediately like visibly see what like kind of all the fuss was about. My skin felt really nice, but visibly I was sort of like, okay. What really blew me away is that my skin it felt completely hydrated, comfortable, without any need for a face oil. And that's a really big deal for me, as I've been someone that's so reliant on face oils for a while now. I did top it with a little bit of the cream too, just a very thin layer. This can be taken up around the eyes as well, so you can use it as an eye cream. And when I first had my epiphany with these products was that night. The first time I used this, it was sort of like midday or sort of mid-afternoon on a Sunday. And I remember going to bed that night at, 10 or 10:30 or whatever, and I felt my skin and I was like, what is this magic? My skin just felt honestly incredible. And when I woke up the next day, I could see sort of like the visible effect of the, exfoliation, the balance and the hydration, and just every effect that this gave. And at that point, I was totally hooked. And it took several more tries of the essence to sort of get the hang of it and the way that I like to use it. So now I use it once or twice a week. Usually once a week, because I don't always have time to do this like midweek, but it's become like an absolute essential once a week for me. I will oil cleanse my face, get my makeup off, get in the shower, wash my face with the bar soap, wash my hair, whatever, then get out of the shower and do this process. Because again, you don't want to shower or cleanse your face after this. It's really something that once you use it, you want that essence serum to stay on the skin. The only thing you would do after this is a light cream. And honestly, like if you're dry, I think you would want this, but if you're oily, you probably wouldn't even need anything on top of this coming off the skin. I have also been trying the beautiful balm. I don't have tons of info on the ingredients handy, unfortunately. Volcanic Revitalizing Mask, they call it. So this is just your sort of detoxifying, balancing, deep pore cleansing product. Also, I heard a little tip from this interview video. I love watching those videos. I feel like I pick up just so many little insightful tidbits. This makes an incredible eye mask. You can take it all the way up around the eyes, and I used it that way last night. I didn't get a lot of sleep this last weekend, and trying to get back like in the swing of things, and my eyes just looked so like heavy and puffy last night. I threw this under there for 7 minutes. I set my timer. My under eyes looked completely revitalized. It was really incredible. I've also tried this all over the face. It is messy. Again, these products are like a little bit more effort than your sort of standard skincare products. This one in particular, it's very difficult to get off the skin with water. I haven't tried removing it with a cloth yet because I think that would be messy as well, but I do have a bit of a hard time removing it with water in the shower. So I'm still sort of experimenting with this, but one Sunday, like 2 weeks ago, I masked with this first, and then I followed up with the essence. It was like basically having an at-home facial. So I'm just kind of like waiting for them to get scooped up by one of these high-end retailers like Neiman's or Saks or something, the way, you know, other eco brands are, because I mean, just exceptional products. Okay, did I tell you everything? I kind of feel like I did, and I need to go to work. If you would like to sign up for this box and the subsequent 2 Beauty Heroes boxes, I always have a link down below in my description bar. I really stand behind this box, and I think that it would be such an amazing way to get to experience Beauty Heroes. So if you are on the fence, I really, you know, give this box sort of my resounding approval. Now let me tell you a few other quick announcements. Beauty Heroes announcements. There is going to be a 13th beauty discovery this month, launching the day after Thanksgiving, and it will be available through December, so great for gift giving and things like that. I do know what the 13th beauty discovery is. I have not received it yet to try, but I think that that's happening soon, and I'm really excited. The Axiology lipstick boxes are still available. I did swatches of the brights on my Instagram. Unfortunately, the colors don't really suit me. They're very orange leaning, so if you are more yellow undertones or olive, I would definitely have a look at the brights. Otherwise, there's also a natural collection and a daring collection, which is sort of like bolds, and they're a great value. You get 3 full-size Axiology products for $45 if you're not a Beauty Heroes member, or if you are, you get the 15% discount. Those are still available. The November Love More promotion is a Kahina, it's like a little Kahina sampler pack in celebration of their 10th year, which is really incredible. Kahina is definitely one of the veteran brands in this space, a brand I totally love. So the Love More promotion is a $30 value, and you get it no code needed with $125 Beauty Heroes store purchase. As far as what's new in the store, I'm not sure if it's anything that I haven't already mentioned. Boston Road Rage. I think I said last time they're carrying another supplement brand called Dope Naturally. They are now carrying 2 additional products from Linné, the Renew Face Serum, which I've been very curious about, and also a body balm. Skin Owl is now doing a soap dish, which I'm going to investigate, because the dish that I showed earlier, this is the Osmia soap dish. I think it's $2, and I've been wanting to get another one, but I'm gonna see what the Skin Owl one looks like. I love a soap dish. Because there's so many brands that are making just these really beautiful soaps. Au Naturel is carrying the lip stain shade On Point, which my viewer, Cheryl, I think it is, told me that that's a really amazing universal shade, and I've been curious to try other shades of that formula. So. Okay guys, I think that that's it. I would really love to hear your thoughts on this box. I would love to hear your experience if you feel as in love as I do this beautiful Spanish range. Also, how gorgeous is the packaging? We didn't even discuss that. They remind me of eggs. Yeah, it's like very feminine packaging, sort of, I don't know, they remind me of little capsule eggs or something, but so chic, so minimal. I'm going to be savoring these products, get tons of use out of them, and save up my pennies to restock them when the time comes. So thank you so much for watching. If I have time, I will try and get a demo up somehow. Oh, I'm so bad at this, you guys, like the whole self-promotion thing. I do have a Patreon account for any of you that are interested in supporting the development of this channel so that I can invest more resources into producing additional content, spiffying up my website, which is something that's in the process of happening, diverting more resources to basically create additional content for you guys. The November patron exclusive video poll has ended, and I'm going to be doing a video on, I'm so glad that they chose this one, habits I'm trying to break and habits I'm trying to instill. That was the one that I wanted to do the most of the options that I gave. So I'm going to be filming that, and it should be up in a week or two, and I'll be promoting it on Instagram and stuff like that. Self-promotion is just so not my thing, but I am on Patreon. Thank you so much to all of the people that support my channel on there. Your support just honestly means everything to me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video really soon. Bye.